Welcome to I&E's CCNA Wireless 5-day course. I'll be your instructor for this week. My name is Mark Snow. I do actually have a CCIE in voice and security. I'm working on my CCIE in wireless. I also have the Design Associate and Professional, the DA and DP, and I have a NA, Network Associate, like we're here for today, and NP in 4 areas or disciplines: route switch, voice, security, and wireless. I can be reached at msnow@ine.com. You're welcome to email me directly at any time. I will say if it's a technically related question, you're much more likely to get a more rapid or quick response by going to our online community, ieoc.com. Our I&E online community is not only a forum, but it also doubles as a mailing list in the sense that you can not only subscribe to threads on a forum like a normal forum, but you can also start threads or reply to any post in a thread simply through email. So in that way, it sort of doubles as a mailing list as well and becomes very convenient. We've got a number of CCIE certified professionals on there. Brian Dennis, Brian McGahan, myself, and a number of other CCIE professionals that have dedicated their time to answering questions there. So you're much more likely, to get a more rapid response. The objective for this course is to assist students in understanding the fundamentals of a wireless technologies, along with how to install, configure, and professionally operate the Cisco Unified Wireless Network architecture, and to pass the related information regarding the certification, to pass the exam, and of course, therefore proving your knowledge. The agenda for our exam course, and of course the exam for this particular CCNA Wireless, is 640-722. Make sure that you are probably by the time you're watching this, the old exam has already been retired, but I think as of the recording, there's still a few more days to take the old exam, which was 640-721. So make sure you're looking at the version 2 of the exam, which is -722. Anyhow, we're going to begin by looking at an overview of Cisco Wireless. We'll then dive into fundamentals of wireless technologies in general. We're going to spend a good deal of time looking at radio frequency principles, or RF principles, and the math that's associated with that. We're then going to have some fun and look at antennas and how they can affect transmission and reception. We're going to take a look at spread spectrum technology and modulation. We'll move on and look at wireless regulatory bodies and standards, as well as certification testing, not talking about Cisco certification exams, but wireless certification testing. We'll then look at media access. So really the layer 2 component. Everything up until then will have been really the layer 1 transmission component. We'll take a look at non-802.11 radio frequency interference. We'll look at wireless management frames and their structure. We'll then look at the overall Cisco Unified Wireless Network architecture. So as you can tell, even just from this first agenda screen, we're going to be spending a good amount of time, depending on if you're watching this live or watching this later recorded, and if you're watching it later recorded, how you decide to span out the videos. But according to the live schedule, we're going to be spending really a couple days looking at a great deal into the fundamentals before we ever actually get to the Cisco-specific components. Sure, we'll look at some specific components like Cisco-specific antennas and APs, but before we actually get into the configuration of those and their associated components, such as wireless LAN controller, things we'll be talking about in just a moment, we're really going to spend a good amount of time understanding the fundamental core principles of wireless transmission. It's one of the things that Cisco, at any network associate or CCNA level, they really want you to be fully comprehending, fully grasping the fundamentals before they move you on to their specific implementation of those components and technologies. So next we'll move on and look at types of access points, wireless LAN controllers, and we'll talk about what those are and their roles, how APs or access points associate with controllers, the different operational modes of access points. We'll take a look at wireless roaming and why it's so important to have a seamless roaming experience. We'll take a brief tangent, really, to look at Cisco's Mobility Express solution. Then we'll come back and take a look at wireless clients and how they connect and associate, authenticate with wireless infrastructures. We'll look at something called Cisco Compatible Extensions, CCX. We'll then take a look at wireless security and authentication, a very big, very important part, and we'll spend a good amount of time on this to any wireless network. We'll look at the wireless control system from Cisco specifically, and then wrap up with some wireless maintenance and troubleshooting.